Hey everyone, this is Rachel and I am here with another process video. Now I know you guys are going to be completely shocked that I'm going to tell you that I'm going to be working with my, along with my friends who are doing the challenge of using these sketches from Scrapbook Generation's e-zine from a couple years ago called Create. And I'm going to show you the sketch I'm working with. It is a 2-page sketch, but I will be doing a 1-page version of it. So I'm going to be concentrating on this side, but pulling in a few elements from over here. So I have pulled out a 6x6 paper pad from Crate Paper called Journey. Now I definitely think with, let me bring it back here so it's going to focus again. I definitely think with all of these little pieces, a 6x6 paper pad will work very well in this particular layout. So I'm going to go ahead and use that, start cutting up strips of paper and get started. All right, folks, I've also pulled from my stash just different elements. I don't really have anything from the Journey line specifically. I think I maybe have one sticker, puffy stickers, but I can't lay my hands on them now. I may have put them into a kit, and so I don't exactly know where they are. I don't necessarily think they're super necessary to use for this layout. If I remember correctly, there's a couple of feathers and then some cork lines or something like that. I don't remember exactly what it is. And then there are black zigzaggy things, if I'm thinking correctly, you know, trying to remember stickers from 2 years ago. Or how long ago? 2014, so from 3 years ago. So I'm going to go ahead, get you on fast forward, and get started with this layout. All right, folks, back in a bit. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. I am going to start by trimming out the little pieces of pattern paper that show in the sketch, and I'm going to trim away from this after you see me cut the first couple of them, because I am going to cut like 16 of them or something like that, so I didn't see any point in me doing it over and over and over again. It gets a little repetitive. So once I get the first couple, I'm showing you, now this is just a little swing line guillotine cutter I got from Amazon for about $10, basically just to fill in the little smaller things when I didn't want to haul out my big trimmer. I did cut away so you could see me cut off this little piece here at the end. These are the cut aparts that would originally be in the 12x12s and are slim, sized down for the 6x6 paper pad. So one of those is 2 tags that I'm actually going to leave just like that, and the other one is a journaling strip, which is perfect because I can put my journaling right on there and it fits in with the design rather than having strips overlaid like in the original sketch, and I like that better personally. I'm now looking for that larger piece of pattern paper in the sketch that sits just to the left of my photo where my title will rest, and I decide to go with that cork piece of paper because it's very neutral, and I decide, well, if I'm going to use a cork piece of paper, I will pull out my collection of cork, which all fits nicely in that little plastic container, as while I like cork, it's just not an embellishment I buy very often. So I don't have a ton of it. So now that I've lined these all up, and I'm just kind of flipping them around, I don't want all those darker pinks to be together. I don't want my journaling and those 2 tags to be together. I'm just trying to balance the colors. You'll see I have the yellow over on the left and then over on the right, and it might be hard to tell, but my best friend is actually wearing a yellow bathing suit in that picture, and the canoe also has yellow in it. Now, I'm going to be using this entire package of Kaisercraft chipboard. These are so old. These are 2011 maybe? So when I pulled the chipboard out, a couple of the pieces didn't pop out with it, so I'm just pulling that out with my little pokey tool. And I'm using that in place of the large tree in the sketch. I just thought, you know, the colors went really well, and even though technically the story doesn't really go with the floral pieces, I'll go into the story at the end, conceptually it worked really well. So I'm going to start gluing down my pieces, and in a minute I'm going to regret this step. Now, once I glue down the first couple using my T-square ruler and my ATG, I'm going to go ahead and, as you see, jump ahead to the end. Once I get them all down and I kind of take a look at it, I'm going to myself, oh sugar, I really, really, really wish I had inked the edges before I did this. Now, even though they all come from the same collection, I'm just not happy with the cohesiveness of the pattern papers. So while I'm thinking on that, I'm going to go ahead and cut this banner out. Now, this piece of cardstock, I just happened to be sitting on my desk, and I'm like, oh, it's that same mustard color. It's perfect. It's actually from a Felicity Jane kit, and I had just trimmed it off to make it a 12 by 12, and yeah, so it worked out perfectly for me. So I decided to do something I almost never do, and that is outline things. I almost never do it because I'm really bad at it, and I don't necessarily love the way it looks on my layouts. I see other people do it, and I think it's gorgeous. I do it, and it looks like a kindergartner got a hold of my layouts. So I'm trying to decide here, do I want to just do the left, right, and bottom sides, or do I want to make a box? And then I think, is the black too harsh? So I pull out that Faber-Castell pen, and then I pull out this Nuvo glitter pen I got, and I decide, well, that's the one I like the best. But I'm still like going, well, do I like it? Do I not like it? Do I like it? Do I not? Finally, I decide, you know what? I like it with the Nuvo glitter pen, and I do. Is it going to be my favorite thing ever? Absolutely not. But I do like it. I do, however, I don't outline where my journaling will be, nor do I outline those two tags, because I think it will be just a little bit too much. I do, however, take the pen and to the center of each of those flowers, grammar police myself there, I add a center of the marker just to bring that deeper teal into those flowers, since they don't really have that specific color there. So I'm good with the way things are going. I'm going to go ahead, get down my cork piece of pattern paper, get down my photo, and then get down this yellow banner piece. I am not going to outline that. That was like, no way. Too jarring for me. And now I'm going to go ahead and get down part of my chipboard pieces using my Scotch Tacky Glue, which used to be called Scotch Quick Dry Adhesive, and that has a fine line bottle top on it. I bought just the bottle top on Amazon. They come in a 2-pack, and I bought that, I think, for about $7 or $8. So I'm placing the chipboard pieces where I think approximately they'll go, and I knew where that big viney piece was going to go, so I went ahead and glued that down along with that upper flower. But I know I have to work my title around those other flowers, so I'm not going to glue those down just yet. Now, one of the other things I had pulled for this layout to work, to see if it would work, are these white acrylic pieces by Color Cast Designs, and they are in the shape of asterisks, and I'm going to use them more for texture than color, so I pulled the white ones, and I'm going to end up using them, but only on the white cardstock. So you really just get, like I said, it's more of a texture thing as opposed to, adding white to the colorful portions of my layout. Now, once I get that down, I decide to glue down that square one, and when I press down in the center, I lose my glitter marker. What's hilarious is I had pushed down on that red one in the upper part of my layout and didn't lose the marker at all, but for some reason when I pressed down on the pink one, it was totally gone. I'm going to start to work on my title now. The first alpha I choose is this one from Freckled Fawn, which is Jen Scow's handwriting, and it's a mix of upper and lower case and different, both print and cursive letters. So in watching Jen Scow work with this, she mentioned that several of the letters can be used for different letters. I am using the word letters twice. Several, even though they're meant for a particular, maybe to be one letter, they can actually be used for another letter as well. And you'll see that L, that's actually a J, but I think it looks enough like an L that it works well. All right, before I finish my title, I should mention the next alpha I used is this tile one from Webster's Pages in that aqua, and then I moved to this Bella Boulevard one from the Lucky Stars collection, and I used that green, pretty straightforward and modern-y looking one. I thought that contrasted well with the more loosey-goosey freckled fawn one. I'm going to finish off my title using, once again, the Webster's Pages tile stickers, this time, though, in a peachy pink rather than that aqua. And with that done, I can go ahead and glue down the rest of my chipboard flowers and also my leaf pieces. And to bring that cork down into the lower part of my layout, I'm going to add 2 little dots of cork to each of those leaves. And now that I am actually gluing them down, I'm facing them in different directions so they don't all look like they're lined up like little leaf soldiers. So that's when I realized, oh look, my marker is gone. I think I'll add some more. Once I get those down, I am pretty close to being done with embellishing. I am going to move on to my journaling. And as I mentioned, even though this looks like just a pretty happy layout about, you know, a girl in a canoe, it's actually a more serious layout. This was on Beaver Lake in New Jersey. My friend was visiting her uncle's house there, and apparently a company, and this was back in the 1970s, they were illegally dumping toxic waste into this lake, and she ended up getting a very serious infection. In fact, she almost lost her eyesight due to this. So she was saying that, you know, this particular layout, this particular photo just looks like, you know, she's happy and she's having fun. She's like, it was the first time she'd been allowed to go out in a canoe by herself on the lake, so that was super exciting. And then while she was in the lake, you know, she ended up getting really, really sick. Alright, so as I was telling you that story before I started doing my physical journaling, I did add some more asterisks to each of those flowers on the white part, and then using my little key that I made for all my mixed media products, I decided to use the color Pink Stilettos, which is it's a Shimmer's product. I don't believe it's a Vibes. I believe it's a Colorings, but it could also be a Spritz. No, it's a Colorings. I found it. Alright, folks, that is it for me today. If you could flick me a thumbs up, that would be super awesome. I've got some photos going on right now. Have a great day, everyone. Bye!